Yo, it's been a little minute. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been as active, bro, but I've been working. I've been grinding, trying to collect my thought. You know what I'm saying? It's June 22nd, Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. And the topic on my mind today, and quite possibly might branch into another topic, but it's this idea of comparison, right? Now, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is poison. And personally, I can't afford to let that noise in. Following? Comparison is poison. You cannot afford to let that noise in, bro. Now, comparison at its essence is just, it's law of scarcity to me personally, right? And these are my thoughts. If you don't agree with my thoughts, this is my point of view, and that's fine. But comparison is law of scarcity, right? Comparison is never feeling like you have enough because you're comparing yourself to already that of which is or has happened. When personally I like to live in the realm of what could be, even if it hasn't already been attained. I don't see that as impossible, just not yet attained or not yet attainable. But comparison is living in the realm of what you have done in comparison to that of which has already done it, who's doing it right now. And that kind of caps your growth. It caps your potential because you're living in the realm of now, what is going on around you, comparing yourself to that. And most of the time, majority of the time, you're comparing yourself to average. You're comparing yourself to the average of whatever domain that you're in currently. For example, is baseball. If I compare myself as a player, if I'm constantly looking at my stats, right, and comparing myself to other people in my conference, I'm comparing myself, to the average of the conference. Like, what are other people doing? Right? So stay with that. We're going to come back to that example. But comparison, right? Here's another good analogy. Comparison is having a backyard with a pool, a nice landscape around it, good grass, beautiful flowers, nice patio, nice grill, whatever you deem nice is, right? And comparison is looking over your fence to see what your neighbor's got, and he's got a waterfall on his pool, and his landscape's a little bit bigger. He's got stone instead of mulch. You know what I'm saying? His flowers, they a little bit brighter and they pink. You got blue flowers. You know what I'm saying? His patio is a little bit newer. You know what I'm saying? It's a little shinier. Just got sealed last week. Comparison is looking over that fence and looking at his backyard and being like, man, this is a little bit better than mine. I wish I had that. I wish I had that nice new patio, that concrete slab. I wish I had that waterfall on my pool. Or it might not even be like I wish I had that, right? But it's even contemplating the thought, like, man, like, maybe my pool is kind of getting old. Maybe I need a little upgrade. Maybe I need to get a slide, you know what I'm saying? Or even contemplating the thought, like, maybe I need to switch out my mulch for stone because, it kind of does look nice over there. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like the I wish. It's maybe just the contemplation of the thought. which is enough for it to be comparison. And like I said, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is poison. You can't afford to let that noise in because it's law of scarcity, and law of scarcity states that you never have enough. You living in a state of never feeling you have enough. Now, back to the baseball example, right? So this past season was my last season, right? My senior season. Capped it off with an All-American tour, right? Now, statistically, you could look at my season and compare me to others. Say that my season was this or that in comparison to the average in my conference, D3, you know, at the school in school history. You could compare me and say that my stats were this and that. But when I was in the moment, I told myself all season I wouldn't look at my stats till the season was over. And why is that? Now, that wasn't just like some weird thing where like I didn't want to look at the stats because, you know, I didn't want to get caught up in the numbers. I didn't want to get caught up in the numbers, but here's the thing. I didn't want to be caught stat chasing. Oh, to maintain what I got, I need a hit a game. I need to get my one hit a game. To get back on track, I need to get 2 hits this game. Because that's stat chasing. Getting caught up in the numbers, you can say that, but that's not really what it is. People be stat chasing. I didn't want to get caught up stat chasing because I've done that before. Previous seasons, right? And I didn't want to compare myself to others that have played in the school's history, or other players in the conference, or other players I've played with, seen play before. I'm one of one. Who knows what my cap is? But the cap is there if I compare myself to others who are not me. Individually, I am one of one. Who knows what my cap is? Only I can figure that out through work, through evolving mindset, physically, spiritually. So I didn't compare myself. And look what happened. I didn't start the season and look at the best player who ever played at my school's history and say, I want to have a better season than him. Or I didn't look at all his stats and be like, okay, I need X amount of hits, X amount of doubles. I need to have a higher OPS than this, so I need to hit about a double a game, right? Oh, he only struck out this many times. I can't strike out that many times. Nah, because that's comparison. And that's law of scarcity, saying you got to do this to get this. I only got enough of this, so I got to work with this. Nah. The opposition. What is the opposition? So are you telling me all this, Thomas? You telling me all this. What should I do? Well, I'll tell you what I did. And maybe you can take something from it that you can apply to yourself, right? Now, what you can do and what I did is I lived in a law of abundancy, right? I'm not looking at my stats all season, so I really don't know what I'm doing. How many doubles I've hit, how many hits I got, how many RBIs I've scored, what my batting average is, how many stolen bases I got. So I'm just playing the game at its most natural state. Every game is a new game, but it's a course of a season, so I'm going through mental, physical battles, but I'm not getting caught up in the numbers and chasing stats, because that's not what it's about. I'm sticking to the process that I built, that I cured, that I manufactured and tinkered with over time to feel good game in and game out. To feel good game in and game out. Now, because when it comes to things like this, it's not about probability. It's not about you're hitting 333, so you're going to get one hit every 3 at-bats. It doesn't work like that, man. It doesn't work like that. I mean, all the numbers guys are going to be like, yeah, I mean, it does kind of work like that, but nah, bro. Some games you got 3 hits, some games you got no hits, some games you got 2 hits, some games you got 1 hit, some games you get 5 at-bats, some games you get 2 at-bats. You know, it pans itself out to an average. Pans itself out to an average that at the end of a season can explain, the stats can explain like how consistent you were as a player. It's just a reflection of the work, the process. Now back to it though, the law of abundance, you always got enough. You always have enough. You never need more because you already got it. It's already there. You've already had it. I wasn't chasing numbers because I was just trying to feel as good as I could game in and game out, and whatever results I produce is the results that it was supposed to produce. And real quick, why don't you chase stats? I don't like the word chase, man. I might have said this before, but in a previous audio file, but anything you chase runs away from you. Think about it. I don't like the word chase, man. Like, chase titles, chase rings, chase stats, chase women, chase money. Whatever you chase, whatever you're chasing, it runs away from you. So I'm not trying to chase. I'm trying to manufacture. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to produce. I'm trying to unlock. I'm trying to gain. Because that's the foundation. Those are building blocks you can work with. Stand on, get taller, get higher, climb higher, walk higher, step higher, get to new floors, get to new levels. When you're chasing, you're running around on ground zero, you're just running around where you're at in circles, chasing, reaching, trying to jump up, grab something out the air. You like digging, seeing if something's like right under your feet, nothing's there. But you right on level 1. You just chasing and chasing and chasing. But when you building, when you growing, evolving, manufacturing, you going from level 1, you building up to level 2, and then once you get to level 2, you're like, dang, there's some cool stuff up here. I can tap into some new stuff. Now I'm at a higher level. And then you max out, you max out level 2 and you slowly build to level 3. Whatever these levels are to you, you know what I'm saying? It's this concept. You get to level 3 and you're like, dang, there's some cool. I'm way more confident now. I got all these tools, mental tools. As 19 Keys would call them, keys. I got keys. I'm on the 3rd floor now because I got the keys to get up here. So it's bigger than comparison. It's back to the comparison, right? Comparison will ruin where you cap that. It will cap you off at a spot, whether that is, some people might be a higher, better, more successful spot than others, but it will cap you. I didn't compare myself to nobody. I didn't try to compare myself to nobody. I'm one-on-one. I'm one-on-one, but I'm a piece of it all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just a piece. I'm one-on-one, but I'm a part of the process, part of the piece, part of the team. And going with that mindset of being in abundance, no comparison, not chasing. I had the best season I've ever had in my life. And I had the best season that has ever been produced by a player at that school. It wasn't no, I hope I get here because so-and-so did that and I can do it too, or I wasn't looking at my stats after every game and be like, I got to get one more hit over these next, I got to get 5 more hits over these next 8 games so I can stay on path to like breaking this record. Nah. And you got to grow up past that. And I'm not saying you don't got to look at your stats. That's what I did because I knew the type of person I am. I couldn't look at them at all. If you look at the stats, you just can't jump to these conclusions like I got to do this and that because they're doing that or this. And, you know, I got to stay ahead of them or I'm falling behind them. Nah, bro, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. People be talking about stay in your lane. Like, they don't even really get what that means. Like, stay in your lane mentally. Like, your path is one-on-one. Where you at? Nobody been. Where you stand? Nobody stood there before. In your shoes, you know what I'm saying? They might have stood somewhere close to you, but it was in their shoes. Stand where you at in your shoes. Because you one of the ones too. Man, I say I'm one-on-one, but you one-on-one too. Everybody one-on-one. One of the ones. 19 Keys would say, one of the ones. So, like, after saying all that, I'm gonna end off on my opinion, right? It's cool if you don't agree with me, that's fine. I'd love to debate about it. But they talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you gotta look it up to get a visual. And I feel like everything in life has their own version of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it starts at the bottom. You got your needs, you got, food, shelter, clothing. Once you get that, like, it's the next step. Like, are you financially good? And then, like, all the way at the top is like self-actualization, right? Where you realize, you one of the ones. You got what you need. You're not missing anything you don't have, right? And you can create your own reality. In baseball, base level, bottom level 0, maybe we'll call it level 1. It's comparison. There's a lot of things in this level, but comparison is definitely in there. Comparing yourself to others. Another one is fundamentally thinking that something's always fundamentally off. And that goes back into law of scarcity again. It's that thought that someone's doing better than me. Right now my swing's off because I'm dropping my shoulder doing this or that. Nah, once you overcome the comparison and the law of scarcity, once you overcome the comparison and that law of scarcity in baseball, you unlock a new level where you realize you can start to control your outcomes. You control your process, which then can produce more results that you desire. See what I'm saying? You can't control your results, but you can control the process that garners the results and therefore produce more results that you desire. So stay tapped in, because it's coming, man. Like, it's coming. I'm creating something that's going to change the game of baseball. It's going to change it's going to change athletics. Mentally. Because the thing about it is, there's more to be had. There's more to be had. I've played with a lot of people that could have been a lot better because of their mental was lacking. And I've played with some people that played way above what people would call their physical fundamental level because they had it mentally. They talk about baseball as 80% mental, 20% physical. Some people say 90-10. You don't just practice those reps mentally. You can practice 20%, 10% physical reps. You can do that. But the mental, man, you live in it. 80%, you don't just practice that. You can't just flip that switch on and off. 90%, you can't just flip that switch on and off. 80, 90%, that's a mindset you gotta live in, my guy. Whoever I'm talking to, that's a mindset. If you want to, control your process, it's gonna be a mindset you gotta live in for a certain amount of time to produce the results you desire. Possibly, sometimes you could even say living it all the time, 24/7. But that's a conversation for another day, and I appreciate whoever heard this, because I don't know when people are gonna hear it. But it's June 22nd on Thursday, 8:39 a.m. I'm on my way to work right now. I'm on my way to do a landscaping job. We getting after it. It's a new chapter. We in the gutter. And we growing. Peace.